Hey y'all, it's Farley with Writer's Edge Podcasts, and today let's have a conversation about how small steps equal forward motion. So, the dinging in the background, I'm driving around and my Aussie is with me. And my Aussie weighs enough, Allie, the poser cow dog, she weighs enough that the car thinks she needs her seatbelt on. So, we are doing a little multitasking this week as the days get, jumbled up. As per usual this time of year, or per usual for just normal life. So, anyway, let's talk about how small steps equal forward motion. So, we talked a couple weeks ago about the long game, and it's natural, it's nature, it's a way of it takes a while, right? It takes a while for you to reap what you sow. We talked about that. And I think life is interesting in that while that is true, let's talk about the short game this week. Which you may go, well, Farrells, you were talking about the long game a couple weeks ago, and now we're talking about the short game. Yes, let's talk about how small steps equal forward motion. Doing something small that's going to get you towards your goal is going to give you forward motion. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about, so you have these big ginormous goals, right? You are wanting to, let's just talk about me, for example. Like, I am picking a rope up again and headed back to the rope pen. And I get in my head, and you may do this too with whatever. It doesn't have to be a sport related. It could be getting a big presentation together, or something else that has a lot of parts to it, has a lot of moving parts. But I have false expectations. I put pressure on myself because I think I should be at a different place to reach this goal that I have set, right? So you're like, okay, hang on, I'm not following you. Okay. So we're talking about the rope pen and going back to the rope pen. It really boils down to one loop at a time. Just swing your rope. Just swing your rope and control what you can control right there. Improve on those small things that you need to improve on. It's about your game and not the global expectations that you have. In the barrel pen, it is one barrel at a time. We work on getting this barrel turned, and then let's go the next, and then let's go the next. Luckily for us barrel racers, there's only 3 barrels. Oh, don't worry, folks. I'll be here all week. But small steps equal forward motion. If you are facing a massive project, a massive goal of wanting to compete at a high level, whether it's roping or running barrels or horse showing or what have you, don't get caught up in those global expectations. And I should be here, and I'm going to put this pressure on myself because, oh gosh, I'm so stupid. I'm so not good enough because I don't have this done. I don't have that done. Well, folks, Rome wasn't built in a day. Cliches exist because they are true. Small steps equal forward motion. getting the aspect, like for me, I have a delivery issue, and like this morning on the dummy, it was cold, and my rope didn't feel very good this morning. So I was having trouble getting the feel and the flow with my loop. Not an excuse, but I was dealing with that, and some old habits creeped up, because as we all know, when in pressure situations, we will revert to old habits, and whether they are good or bad, old habits that are laid down and have been with us a long time, they will creep back in real quick. So for me, in the situation this morning with the dummy, like I needed to concentrate on my swing and my delivery, and my curl came back. My delivery was much better. The other issue that was happening this morning was my slack. Well, I didn't get everything fully fixed with my swing and my delivery this morning, so we're gonna leave getting our curl later. Like, we gotta fix 1 and 2 before we get to 3. And I'm not going to fight my head about 3, because I need to go concentrate and fix 1 and 2. And I'm not going to fight my head about all 3 of those things, because I have these goals, these global goals that I have set I'm not going to fight my head about those, because I'm putting pressure on myself that, I shouldn't be dealing with this on November, whatever, at 6 a.m. Like, I should be better than that. I should be further down the road. Well, guess what, Farrells? You're not. You need to go fix this small step, and then we'll go knock down the next small step, and we'll keep knocking small steps down till once we get where we're going, we're there. In horse training terms, they talk about 1% every day, 1% improvement. If you get 1% in 100 days, you have 100% improvement. So it's the same thing. I just like to use small steps equal forward motion, because I am greedy. And if I can get 2 or 3% on a day, or even 5%, I want that. Even though my bar is kind of set at 1. It's the same thing if you're trying to change something big, if you're trying to change your health habits. Small steps. Start by drinking less soda, right? I didn't say stop at cold turkey. I didn't say try to be perfect and eat salad 3 times a day and only drink water and whatever. Nope. Start with something small that you know you can accomplish, because it will gain momentum. All these small steps keep the momentum going. It stokes the fire, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. I've gotten, in the last 3 weeks, I've gotten these 3 small steps done. Yeah, let's go tackle the 4th one. So let's stop drinking. If you drink 5 sodas a week, cut it down to 3 sodas a week, or cut down the size of the soda, and once that gets more comfortable, make another change, and just make it small and keep hacking away at it that way, until it's time to go the next thing. It's the same thing with working our horses, right? You've got to have them stopping on their hind end, and they have to understand how to get on their hind end before you can start introducing a more advanced maneuver, whether it's going around a barrel or rolling back over their hocks, or setting a head horse in the turn, getting them to set before you turn left. It's just, you've got to accomplish A and B before you get to C. And so I feel like there are people in my tribe who are dealing with things that I hope this message resonates with, and I hope there's people in RE Nation that this resonates with this week. It's not a glamorous thing to talk about, but I always appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, because let's give ourselves some grace and some forgiveness, because if we're actively knocking down small steps, they will add up to big changes. they will. It is time tested and approved. There are so many examples out there of keep knocking down the basics, get to be an expert at the basics. If you're an expert at the basics, the world is your oyster, and you can achieve great things in whatever endeavor you set out to be, whether that's speaking or reining horses, getting in the show pen, any timed event. Experts at the basics become champions. And the way you get expert at the basics is accomplishing small steps. So I hope this message hit home for a couple of you guys. That's always my hope with every podcast. We've kind of delved into a lot more mindset topics here in the last few episodes. And I think that is important to talk about as anything else we talk about. So, as always, I appreciate you hanging out for our conversations, and I will see you down the road. Thank you for listening to the Writer's Edge podcast today. We appreciate your time and attention. Thank you for always helping us move the conversation forward. If you liked today's podcast, please help us keep the conversations going by subscribing to this podcast and consider leaving us a review so others can find us and join in on the conversations. You can also find more information by checking us out on our social media channels, including Facebook at Writer's Edge Therapy and Wellness, Instagram at Writer's Edge Therapy, and our website, www.writersedgetherapy.com. It is there that you can book a consult for either you or your horse. Thank you, and as always, we will see you down the road.